So let me correct myself. We're not going to go to plants. My head, in my brain, I always think of shows ahead. Tomorrow I have ways to fertilize and feed your plants. But now we're going to clean your drains. I have been addicted to this stuff for the past, I guess, got to be 4 or 5 years. And, you know, I didn't try it for a while. I was just like busy. And then I own an older home, and I noticed a couple of the drains were kind of backing up a little bit or really slow moving. And I'm like, you know, I've tried all the things in the yellow bottle. I've tried everything in the red bottle. I'm going to try Professor Amos. There's a reason these guys have been here, what is it, 17 years?
20 years.
20 years? Crazy. 20 years. When you're on a TV program that does retail for 20 years, year after year, I don't think there's anybody else that can break that record. All right. It is amazing. It is called Professor Amos, and this is their SuperFast concentrate. Now, we do the liquid version of this, which is wonderful, but you really only get about, what, 6 applications. So we decided to make a concentrate. This is a concentrate powder. All you do is put a little bit into your mixing jar, whatever it is, or right down the drain. Just pour it right in there if you want. You don't need to dilute it. And then you pour the water in, and it creates what we call SuperFast. And let me tell you, it starts working within 30 minutes. The stuff is amazing. It will not only get rid of the grease, the grime, soaps, remember, everything, shaving cream, all that stuff sticks to the inside of your pipe. And oils, right? Your oils of your hands, all that goes down into the pipes and the drains of your bathroom sink, of your shower, all that stuff. Slowly but surely, it builds up and it constricts the flow of water. This works, and it's the only product I've ever seen on hair. Hair are basically is the straw that makes the bricks. All right? The oils and all that is the glue, but the hair is the straw. This will dissolve hair as well. So you're getting 36 applications. Amos Harp III, my man.
What's up, guys? Hello, you at home? Facebook Live right now. Hey, Facebook.
Now, this is the wonderful son of the famous Amos that we absolutely love, who's been here forever.
Thank you so much.
And I got to tell you, this product, and I wasn't hesitant. One day I was like, I got these drains. I've tried other stuff. Why don't I try it?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And what's nice, too, is I just let the product do the work.
It gets the job done effectively. It's economical, 36 applications. So that's 36 times you can open the drain line, 36 times you can maintenance the drain line.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. Let me show you how good SuperFast Max works. So just like Guy said, you take an application out of here. There's a scooper in there. You mix that to a cup of hot water. Let me show you what it does. SuperFast Max is industry leading when it comes to opening your drain lines at home, but it's not a drain opener. What this is a drain cleaner. So what that means to you at home, it's going to open the drain lines, but more importantly, it's going to clean the drain lines, squeaky clean, where there's nothing oily or sticky left behind to attract a new clog. Now, this has an accelerated format, so it works really fast. It starts to work in 10 seconds. SuperFast is going to turn the hair into foam. It turns all the food into foam. It breaks down all that dirt, grease, and oil in there. Look at it breaking it down into foam. This is called
Saponification. Yeah. You almost threw me. I'm like, I was going to say it's called, thank God. I got rid of that lousy client. But it is, and saponify basically means to liquefy.
That's right.
It turns that nasty stuff, and it's the soaps and all that. And did you ever notice your drain has an odor? Well, that's because stuff lives in there. Yeah. If you don't clean and maintain your pipes, it's a test tube, and things are living in there. Many of you have tried this. I tried the one in the red bottle.
Yeah, the red, the blue, the green, guess what? They all look different, I'll give them that, but they all contain the same ingredients. Products like these are highly corrosive, and let me just break this down. When you're using a consumer product like this from the store, products like these may contain acid, ammonia, animal fats. These are highly corrosive materials that you're pouring down the drain, so what that's going to do is going to heat up the drain line. But let me explain what's happening in your homes today. 90% of the chemicals, they'll trickle, it'll ooze, it'll all creep and get past the clog, and it all ends up down here. You see, this curve unit is designed to hold fluids to keep odors from coming back up and permeating through your house.
It's not doing anything.
Nope.
All right, you see the liquid has just moved a little bit, but the clog is still there. And when you poured in the SuperFast, it was bubbling. It was, you could see it was the act of saponification. It was melting it and liquefying it. And that is, and what's nice is, like when I do mine, because I do like a maintenance program where I'll pour a little in once a month, and I put it in at night before I go to bed.
That's how I love to do it.
I wake up in the morning, I put hot water on, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I had when I moved into my house years ago, I had the original shower drain. You know, they changed the pan, but the plumbing they didn't change.
Okay.
And I would get into that shower, and every once in a while I'd be like, what is that scent?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
And I had a plumber come in, he goes, it's sewer gas, man. He goes, it's backing up. He goes, whoever lived here before you didn't take care of their pipes.
No.
He had to snake it out. And now I use this. I probably use this maybe once a month in that drain in my shower.
Okay,
Fantastic.
Gets the job done.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it sit for about a minute, guy. We're gonna come right back to that, see if anything happens. But come on over to test tube number 3. I'm gonna do it a little different this time. Do me a favor, count to yourself right now. How long does it take for this to activate and go to work? Like I said,
3.
1 application to a cup of hot water. It's hot water activated.
6, 7. It's already working.
10
I didn't even get to 8. And I want you to see when you get down to the bottom here, what is going on, because you saw the previous pipe.
Yes.
And you saw it was literally just floating and nothing was happening. Do you see the bubbling going on?
It works right away.
You see how it's eating? You could see it becoming really, you could see it.
That's last week's
liquid.
food.
Yeah, that is
Last
hair,
month's food.
toothpaste, soap, lotions, potion, whatever it
Body oil,
is.
dead skin cells.
All that stuff, and that's why it becomes a breeding factory for germs and bacteria, and that's why your drains stink. You got to use this stuff. All right, so let's look at test tube number 2.
Nothing's happened.
So hold on one sec, we'll get a shot of it.
Okay.
We poured in the competitor's product. Again, there is no activity at all.
None.
So now we're gonna pour in SuperFast on top of it.
That's right on top of it. In SuperFast, it's an innovative product. There's no acid, there's no ammonia, there's no animal fat. So what does that mean? I can go right over top of those standing chemicals and it starts to work on contact because of that accelerated formula. No chemical reaction, you'll love that. And it starts to work by breaking down last week's food, last month's food, or even last year's food. It's turning it all into foam by saponification. We love that. Just let that take place for about 10 minutes, and that's all you do. Then you're gonna come back, just like Guy said, and you're gonna run hot water. Let me find my little pedal here. Here it is. All right, so I'm gonna install this hose in here. Let me explain this. Everything's been suspended free from the inside of the drain line. It's all been broken down by being saponified.
Gone.
Run the hot water for up to 5 minutes, Guy. You at home, you're gonna love it because it comes back squeak.
Squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean.
All right, we are very busy. Use express ordering. Remember, you get to do this 36 times. So if you're doing this on a monthly basis and you have 4 drains that you want to utilize, a couple of showers, couple of sinks, like I said, I would use this on a fairly regular basis because not only do you want to get rid of the slow-moving or the clogged drains, you want to maintain them. Remember, you don't take 1 shower a month, right? You shower every day, whatever. What is that about? It's about maintaining the cleanliness of your body. It's the same with your pipes. The problem is, if you don't clean your pipes properly, you got to spend $200 or $300 to have a plumber come out there, and they're going to have to go down there with a snake.
With a snake.
And I lived, you know this, I lived with the guy that ran a plumbing company.
This is good.
His name is Kenny Click, great guy, and I lived with him for a while, and his brother. And they ran a plumbing company. And one day, we all shared an upstairs bath, which is kind of nasty when you think about 3 dudes. But anyway,
that's a lot.
So one day he's like, "Hey man, you gonna be upstairs for a while?" I said, "Why?" He goes, "I gotta go clean that upstairs drain." And I'm like, "So?" And he goes, "You can't be up there." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because I'm gonna pour muriatic acid
in the drain.
down the drain." And I'm like, he goes, it's bad stuff. He came in with a mask. And he said, you can't use this on all pipes. They have to be like really, really solid. I don't know, copper or whatever you could use it on.
Terracotta clay pipes.
So I had to leave. This stuff, are we wearing masks?
Nope, no
Are
gloves,
we wearing gloves?
no mask.
You don't need it.
Cleaning technology. I want to show you this. Let me dive right into it. This is known as the dirtiest place of your whole house. This is the inside of the drain line of your kitchen sink. There's over 500,000 particles of bacteria per square inch in the drain line of the kitchen sink. You got to eliminate that because that's a food source. There's bugs and critters that are feeding on that night and day. It's bad.
Did you ever, I know this, you're in the business, a while back, I remember I was looking, I was brushing my teeth.
Okay.
And silverfish crawled out of the drain.
Yeah.
Like a little bug. You've seen them, the silverfish? Crawled out. And I'm like, you're living down there?
Yeah.
That was when I was like, okay, time to maintain, time to clean. And you'll be surprised how quickly, and where they come from, I don't know.
They're feeding on that hardened and solidified grime down there. Think about the little fruit fries that are just lingering over the drain line. Look at that. So that represents all that hardened and solidified grime that's built up in the inside of all that stuff that's clinging onto the inner pipes down there at the curve unit and then the bend unit. It's building up. SuperFast Max is going to break that down. Remember, you can do that 36 times. 36 times you can open the drain line. 36 times you can maintenance and clean the drain lines. But I want to talk about the hair problem, okay?
Biggest deal.
It's the #1 culprit to every clog at home. Every clog consists of some hair. Reason being is the inside of the drain lines are coated with the stuff the guy was talking about, the body oils, the lotions, potions, the dead skin cells. It's coating the lines. So when you wash your hair one time, you wash your pets one time, the hair goes down to the inside of the drain line and just clings on in there. Then it'll start to build and build and build till there's a nest of hair that's completely choking out the drain line. I got to show you something. You ready for this?
Best.
Take a look at this bowl here. I've got hair in there. We have one of the only hair dissolving formulas in the country that we know of here at HSN. This is going to break down hair. Pet hair, human hair. I want to play a time-lapse video for you to see.
Yeah, it takes a little bit.
10 minutes. You give this 10 minutes and it turns pet hair, human hair, fuzz, lint, fur, anything like that that's clinging and building up on the inside of the drain line. Give it 10 minutes. My goodness, it turns it into foam. That's saponification at its best.
Look at this. And you'll watch it. It just dissolves. That is impressive. And it's doing it without the harsh, super caustic chemicals, which you don't want to be.
Muriatic acid.
Oh, my gosh.
It's doing it without the ammonia. It's doing
your pipes can't handle that.
Yeah.
You know, that acid sitting in there for a while, eventually it's going to eat away. All right, now, tell me about, this is the big drain.
These are the bigger drains. Like, let me just say, there's no job too big or too small when it comes to SuperFast Max. These drain lines are representing the bigger drain lines that run from under your house, out to the sidewalk, down to the city sanitation. Test tube #1 is our SuperFast Max by my dad, Professor Amos. Test tube #2 is the consumer product that you get at the store all the time, the liquid this, the dual action that. What happens is the chemicals go to the lowest point right there of your drain lines, and then they sit there and start to build heats. Heats of up to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Guess what? That's too hot for the drain lines. Your drain lines aren't bulletproof. They're not made to get up to those temperatures. Inevitably, it would crack. It could cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars to dig up a sidewalk.
Oh, my gosh.
To dig out the wall and get to the pipe.
Remember, not only are you helping out your plumbing, but your neighbors as well, because this is traveling down the main.
That's right.
And it's going to help with that as well. I mean, this is as easy as I can show you the demo.
Yes.
This is the competitor.
That's it right there.
All the product is at the base. You could probably wait 4 days before this is going to go away.
It's not going to go anywhere.
All right, and it won't.
Yeah.
This is our product from Professor Amos, and you see how it is not only maintained, but it's cleaning as it's going. Yeah. And then as the fresh water cleans this out, it's all gone.
Sweet.
The odors are going to be gone. All right, listen, I know our clock is going down. We want to do one more demonstration.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, this is SuperFast Max. This will turn hair into foam, food into foam, all your dirt, grease, and oil into foam. This is industry leading, and this is a proprietary formula. This is what the major facilities use, the hotels, the motel, the janitorial supply, the casinos. SuperFast Max is going to make up to 36 applications, so that's 36 times it'll open a drain line and clean that drain line. Now that foam breaks down into liquid. You give that about 10 minutes, then you'll run hot water. You run hot water for up to 5 minutes, the drain line comes back squeaky clean every single time you do it. Now, come on over to, we're going to do that one more time.
Yeah, go ahead. We got time.
Let me just keep
we got about a minute left. We added time, got busy.
Because we got a lot in here. 36 applications, that's a lot. That's enough to open your drain lines 36 times. So you don't have to pour the whole thing down the drain line. You can divvy, when you make that application, you can divvy that up around the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, the tub, but just let the product do the work so you don't have to. We want you to work smarter, not harder. No need to call the plumber. That's a service call. That's $100 for when the plumber just knocks on your door. This is going to get the job done. It's effective. It's economical. 36 applications.
The dirtiest places in your home are in the pipes.
That's right.
When you think about it.
Yep.
All right, because think about what has to go through there. It's body oils, it's skin, it's hair, it's all these things that when they're grouped together, they turn into the nastiest stuff, and then they eventually get sludgy, and they block up your pipes.
Put off those drain
I would use this, you know, we call it not only a cleaner, but a maintainer. So remember, at least, I would do it at least once a month, put some of this stuff down there, and then you never have to deal with it, because there's nothing worse than standing in standing water.
That's right.
In your shower.
That's right. This
right?
By the way, safe for all plumbing.